sorry. This is what happens when you have been away for a while and you forgot to do the fundamental. Okay, start recording. This is webinar number 10, personal development. So when you guys actually see the word personal development, what comes up, what comes up on your mind? What do you visualize and what do you think of right away? Anyone?
How we can further improve our the way we behave, and our, awareness is stated over there quite clearly. And basically, how can we improve ourselves to be a better person and to be a better coach and be a better, some cases, employee or employer or leader, how can we improve ourselves to be a better person for our friends, families, and our profession.
Oh, I heard the word better from you a few times. But it's about how to better oneself. Anyone else want to share? What's your view on personal development and what it means to you? No? Okay, that's fine. Oh, Shafin, did you say?
It's all pretty similar, just like gaining more knowledge, basically, and then applying it also. Just being able to make those, being aware of your weaknesses and working to better them, improve them.
Cool. There's no right or wrong answer to this. It's just whatever it means to everybody, right? But of course, there's a official sort of like way to explain why we actually need personal development and why we need to talk about personal development in the area of business, right? So basically, we're learning about the foundations and principles of success. So when these principles are applied, our business and lives actually, get radically changed by, all these like great principles as well. So I'm sure it's something that all of us have, encountered before, like personal development lessons and things like that. And, later on, I'm going to go around the room and ask everyone to share, about your own personal development experiences. Yeah. So my favorite business philosopher, Jim Rohn, he was also the Herbalife business philosopher as well. He trained Mark Hughes, the founder of Herbalife, before. He has this famous saying: if you want to have more, you have to become more. For things to change, you have to change. For things to improve, you have to improve. If you grow, everything grows for you. So this is a golden quote that I actually swear by, and then it really works. It's actually not really a magic spell. It's just it's like a good sort of like a reminder that I carry with me when things don't go right, when I face, struggles and challenges. I start to think, to myself, how can I improve this situation? What can I do differently, personally to improve the situation, rather than just blindly pointing fingers, at other areas, other people and things like that. And it really works. Maybe sometimes it's not so straightforward. It's not so easy to see that right away. And, it's not really like, oh, it's my fault. We always have the control to change everything, ourselves, right? So everything comes from within. Yeah. So I know it's actually very, this one might seem a little bit like a new concept to some of you guys, or, could be a little bit, like a lot. But actually, no, before we go into this, I actually want to ask you guys something. Okay, sorry, press the wrong button. So before that, I asked you guys, like, what was your own view, your definition on personal development, right? But now, actually, it sounds like you guys all have a really good, solid understanding of what personal development is. Now I would like everyone to share, like, when was your first time that you encountered personal development, or things like, personal coaching? And in what areas of life that you were working on, that you were using personal development to improve on? I would like to actually hear from everybody about your own experience of personal development. I know.
I can go first. My first encounter with personal development was actually with I told you before, right, Jane? It's not actually isn't landmark. It's Vian King, another the physical preparation coach who I look up to a lot, and I mean, when I first met him, you know, I was expected you're meeting another like so-called physical preparation or strength and conditioning, but physical preparation is more appropriate in coach. We'll start talking about all lifting and weight training and sport, but he didn't really talk about that. He actually asked me questions about my he did ask me some about questions pertaining to my training, but the first questions he asked was basic questions like like example, do you usually you listen to people when they speak, and then I realized that that he started asking me questions like what stuff like what did I just say to you to tell you to do. So all this stuff is actually put into personal development. If we are not present enough to actually listen clearly to what someone is saying when they're talking to us, or when you're, example, asking from someone who's very been successful, and he's someone you look up to as a role model, like Jim Rohn example, for just this sentence, and there's this phrase that's been put up, right? If you want to have more, you have to become more, and a simple message like that. So, and imagine Jim Rohn is saying that to you straight, and you are not being present 100% to whatever he's saying, and you ask a question that is further related to it. This just shows that you're not being open-minded and being aware of to hear what the coach or the mentor is telling you. So that was my first encounter with him. I was not even being present to what he said. And he says that if you are not going to be aware and present to what I say, then don't waste my time. So that was a big hit to me in the sense that
That in the chat. What is it I said? I wasn't present. Oh, it's recording. I can look back on it. Never mind.
Yeah. Yes. So that from there he started asking me more questions about my life and the way I work, and started to realize that I wasn't very present to so many things because my mind's always so overloaded in multitasking, and I'm not really good at multitasking, and that's when I thought, okay, I'm not good enough, and he drew me to the aspect that ask yourself, if you think that you can't multitask very well, 100% focus in every single task and aspect and one goal, what makes you think other people can do the same? And he admitted, I can do it. Can you do it? So that got me to a self-realization that what others can't do, right, and what I can't do, it may or may not be different, but at least at least he has the courage to admit that he can't multitask and focus 100% everything. Now, how many people really have the courage to say, I can't do it? Yeah. I mean, right now, they tell you, right, if you give me 3 tasks, and ask you to focus 100% of it, the most I can do is just 2 of it, or even 1. I'm not multi-brain, in the example. But that's the thing, the world doesn't see that way. They think that, you are the best in the world, so you have to do this at one go. So yes, this is my first encounter in personal development.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And Ian King is quite an amazing, I should say, influence on your, not only on your professional athlete, career, but also on your personal improvement too, right? So that's actually really gold. Yeah, that makes him a big coach.
Yeah, he's a big fan of Jim Rohn also.
Awesome. That's cool. Thanks for sharing, Wei. I want to hear from the rest of you guys, Shafing and Max.
Mine, the earliest I can remember
It doesn't have to be exact, just kind of like
Yeah.
vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually in a different kind of context. It was my final year at university. That's the first that I can remember. So it's when I did a 180 in my character and personality. So I was in New York. I've grown up in Hong Kong. I was in New York. I think it was just like the group of friends that I had at that time. It's actually a bunch of flat and frat guys, and three of us, like my roommate and another friend, we would always hang out. And I think they just brought out this confidence in me or something. I don't even know how, but I just remember like feeling a change in this one day, and then since then I got this. I'm still shy, but I became like an extroverted introvert, and I just started noticing more things about myself. And yeah, I can't really go into details, but I do remember like that it's one thing that just helped me advance, I guess, and then that's what made me get motivated to then achieve always to work at TV. And that year, actually, I got my courage. Like a casting director at one of the head of the casting department came to speak at a panel, and I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm just gonna take my resume. I'm gonna go up to him, even though they're not taking resumes. I'm just gonna go up to him and I'm gonna apply it. It doesn't matter if you're scared. It's okay to be scared. And I just got this confidence boost that year, and I applied. I just went up to him at the end of the seminar, and I was like, hey, by the way, I don't know if you're looking for interns, but I handed over my resume. And he's like, yeah, sure. And then I got an internship, and I worked there. And it's like, since a little girl, it was my dream to work at MTV. Now I'm working at MTV, and in New
Wow.
York City. So that was the first step. But I remember that was my first memory.
Yeah, I mean, like for someone like you as a performer, right, actress, I'm sure you can probably think of a few actors, like probably like say most obvious Hollywood actresses or actors who, might also be your inspiration, right, when it comes to, living a life, living a, successful life, but wholesomely too. I think that's the
Yeah.
way I describe someone who, has it all kind of, right? Not only that they have the wealth, the health and all that, but they're also functioning quite, how should I say, wholesomely as a human being, meaning that they have the ethics, values, the heart, for themselves and also for the people around them, right? And as a wholesome human being basically. So that's why I like to use the word wholesome to describe people who are not only just successful business people or successful performers and whatever they achieve, like high achievers, but also at the same time they maintain a really high standard and high principles for themselves as human beings as well. So that's cool. How about Max? Thank you for sharing, Shafin.
For personal development, I think it was going on since high school, like in general, because like personal development is basically being better than you were yesterday, like in any kind of aspect that you're looking at. So I was always trying to either learn something new or practice something new or progress with something I already know. And that's why usually I'm not getting bored that much. But I think personally, like the biggest switch or the biggest boost that I have is when I started like training for become a personal trainer or a trainer in general, just in the aspect that my communication with people is a bit off. And this is something I have from childhood, and then I'm trying to resolve for a long, long time. So basically, a lot of books that I read and a lot of seminars that I'm taking is basically to handle this kind of problem.
Wow. And also, like, you've been in the military before, right? In Israel? You were in the military in Israel, right? Did the military... Oh, same for Wei. Wei was in the military too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think
So you both have
really...
military soldier boys. So did you guys feel that your military experience also sort of like, enhanced that personal development aspect of your life?
Not so much.
Oh, not so
I,
much. It was
I
more
agree with him.
training,
I,
fighting training.
if it's anything, right, I feel that military training sometimes encounters a little bit. There is healthy culture, but sometimes it encounters a little bit of an unhealthy culture, in the sense that you know, sometimes the concept of punishment, training of punishment gets a little bit overboard. Of course, I'm not sure how is it for I mean in Israeli army. I believe. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Max, but the Israeli army, right? You guys are really on the battleground, constantly at war, right?
Well, basically, yeah, but I wasn't in like in the fighting departments or whatever.
Fighting department. I like that word.
Yeah, I did an HR in the end.
Oh, okay. So in a way, I mean, if you're in the kind of environment consistently, right? And yeah, I mean, there's a need to really prepare the soldiers, then I can understand. But in a culture where you get punished unnecessarily, and I mean, there's no meaning to there's no lessons or meaning to be learned.
No, look, I've been in the basic training. They always have kind of punishment, but when it's looked like a punishment when you look at it like when you look at it then, but then if you look retrospectively what was behind it,
Yeah.
then you can understand that there is a good reason why it happened. Like, for example, if it's people that telling the truth, it's not a matter of like who finished first or who finished last. It's a matter of who was speaking the truth at the same moment. So so it's a bit hard to define.
It's very hard to define because Singapore Army, right? There's this concept of rush to wait. You rush to a point.
But in Singapore you don't have to go to the army, right? It's not mandatory.
No, we have to 2 years.
Ah, really? In Singapore?
Compulsory.
Wow.
Yeah, it's compulsory for all men.
Yeah.
Israel men and women have to go, right? Men and women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's really interesting. So both of you guys basically agree that there wasn't so much personal development aspects from the military life. Okay. That's I was just very curious, so I want to understand.
No, usually you have. Like, just specifically my service wasn't.
I feel that for mine, not really a lot of personal development, because you talk about integrity, right? But end of the day, the culture was geared towards, somehow there's a lot of emphasis on integrity, but the way training was geared towards, it seems to promote people to throw away that aspect, which is so important. Because if you choose to display integrity, you're being punished for that. So it's a little bit weird sometimes when I think back about integrity, because even instructors don't seem to display that also.
So I guess basically some of them are not very applicable to real life then.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Okay. Oh, Sam's back in here. All right. Thanks for sharing. Max and Wei on the military side of things. Sam, are you with us? So we're just actually getting everybody to share about their first encounter with personal development. When was your first time sort of like, start working on yourself, start having a personal development training on yourself? And what area of your life were you working on at that time?
Well, that's a difficult question to answer.
It doesn't have to be a very exact sort of like point in life. It could be something like what Max was saying back in school, in high school. He started, bettering himself every day and applying some principles to his life. And Shifeng was talking about back in the time when she was, pursuing the acting career. Well, she still is, but everyone has a different area in life that they're actually working on, and and applying personal development to that particular area.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose I'm sure there are like earlier examples, but more more significant ones would be, say, in the last year of high school, because when you're like the senior in in the school, right? And you're usually like, you know, in some sort of like club society, and you're like the committee member or even like the chairperson. So that's probably one stage where I learned more kind of like management or even leadership skills. Yeah, because
Wow.
you had to you know, organize activities and coordinate with different people, you know. I was in a lot of different like curricular activities, and like including like sports teams, or like an English club, like and also like there was an inter-school kind of society for developing leadership. So yeah, like we had to work with people from different schools, and yeah, just lead some people who are younger than us. Yeah, so that's a great way to really develop my, my leadership or management skills.
That's really quite a lot, you know. Like that's actually really awesome to learn at such an early stage. Because I didn't really have all that in school time. Like in high
Oh,
school.
really? Yeah, we had like prefects as well. Like we were camp prefects, and we were like head of.
Prefects.
Yeah, prefects what? Yeah, but I think a lot of times, like back in the day, as a kid, maybe a lot of times we didn't quite understand, you know, the actual responsibilities and that. But
I wasn't very mature. I grew up really fast.
yeah, so I just saw it as a job, basically.
You know what? Maybe since I was 10 years old, because I've been like babysitting. Whenever we'd have like family parties, everyone would always leave their kids with me. Like since I was 10. So,
Wow.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
consistent.
So some of you guys actually picked up leadership quite early on in your life, right? I only picked up leadership recently, you know, in recent couple of years, and like, you know, truly understand what it means to be a leader and, you know, take responsibilities for others, right? Not just for yourself, but at the same time, yeah. So wow, that's really cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Sam. Yeah, and just quickly, I want to share with you guys. When was the first time I realized I had to work on myself? It's actually quite late, you know, because I guess I have a different upbringing. Well, everybody has a different upbringing. My upbringing was that I was the only child. I am the only child in the family. So I have been very self-centric, you know, most of my life. And, you know, even when there were times that I was maybe trying to work on myself, or when others told me to work on myself, I will not see it as something to improve myself. I'll see it as maybe a task to do, or maybe a solution to a situation and things like that. So when I see the word personal development, I would probably start to think about, you know, the time that I was actually consciously and, you know, and very intentionally trying to work on myself. It was 4 years ago, actually. I know. See, you guys all start early, but for me, like really kind of start to look within, like really, really looking within, and turn down all the background noise was actually 4 years ago. You know, I had to learn how to drop my ego out of the window. I had to learn how to come down to earth. You know, how to be humble, and you know, also how to work on myself, basically how to love myself, you know. So it's a long story. I'm happy to share with you guys another time, you know, maybe at a home gathering or something like that. You know, it was actually to do with my failure in relationship. You know, I don't call them relationship failures anymore, but you know, so I'm sure that actually happened to a lot of people, you know. So that was my first time actually, and I learned a lot. And just now, from what everyone has shared, I actually heard a common theme about what you guys have done with your own personal development. You know, firstly, you got to understand about yourself better, and then secondly, you fine tune, you know, those areas that you feel like you need more work on. So that's actually quite amazing. You know, I'm very touched to hear so many different stories from everybody, and I'm very impressed. I'm just wondering, are you guys actually still working? I should say it like every day. Do you guys actually think about how to better yourself? I know sometimes it kind of pops in and out, right? And do you actually apply, personal development to your business already, like right now? I'm just, this is a conversation anyway, so I'm just curious to know, like how many of you guys like on daily basis consciously, or maybe it's already like a built-in second nature to you that you're actually applying, personal development skills and lessons and principles to your business.
Maybe Shafin, you go first.
Oh no, I guess mine is very simple. Like I know, like I guess into the business side, I am also a big procrastinator. So like there are things that I know I need to do. I just like have trouble implementing things. But in terms of myself, I think I'm generally a very conscious person, and I know like psychology really fascinates me. Human behavior is one of my favorite things. So I guess I see the world through human behavior. So that side is better than my actual execution at work. Yeah.
I reckon subconsciously I tend to get drowned out in I tend to pick out a lot of things I need to work on, but I get drowned out because there's so many things to work on too. The order or and sequence that messes up. So it's always a reflection every single time when something doesn't go very favorably or is a very disempowering experience, and I have to think through. Yeah, so it's always a fight, I would say. When something doesn't go according, I have to take it really seriously and think through it. What did I not do so optimally, like the client, getting the client on the products, or to achieve the results they want. How do I explain to them that if they don't do this, what I tell them to do, acquire what I recommend them, then they're not going to get the results. Sometimes being direct helps, but being direct somehow, it just chase away the client. However, this may sound a little bit extreme, and I got it from, then again, the person I look up to in physical preparation. It sounds a little bit extreme that, if if the person, an individual doesn't agree and doesn't see things the way you are, then you have to think about it, whether you still want to be, be attached or influenced with this individual to be a client, because there's already a difference in philosophy. So that's something, I don't know, is it a take-home message for me, but yeah, I'm quite fortunate that a lot of the clients do at least, give it a shot with my recommendations. Some of them are those who, don't, and yeah, fair enough, they don't really follow through with me as their coach after a short while, or even at the start.
Awesome. So we're gonna go into details of certain areas in personal development and how they could benefit and influence your business areas in a second, right? So we just want everyone to save the details, for the better part. Yeah, that's good. Anyone else? Just a quick sort of like summary. We don't have to go into details just yet.
Well, definitely for me, because I'm really new in the business, so like I'm basically learning and developing every day. So like in terms of how to talk to prospects, mostly less so clients, because I don't have so many clients yet. So I'm always like learning from my previous conversations with different people and how people respond, and then I try to improve or adapt my pitch or whatever you call it. Yeah. And then also, since I'm now studying for my CPT, like the more the further I get into the syllabus, the more I learn, and then I apply it all the time, like in my workout sessions and at boot camp. So yeah, basically, yeah, knowledge and experience that all adds up and applied every day.
That's really cool. Yeah. So like while we're learning about the business and training, coaching techniques and all that, it's not only just those business fundamentals, like business training, how to make money, how to get clients and all that we're learning, but also above all of those sets of skills that we covered in the past webinars and everything we have learned in, the training materials so far, is actually, how to work on ourselves as better human beings, You know, say if I give you, I'm just giving you guys an example, you know, like while I give everybody, you know, ourselves this bunch of material, but if we're not present to like focus, if we are, you know, have such a huge ego there where we kind of like, you know, we're dissing the material in front of us, right? It actually kind of hinders us from really putting our heart into the learning, right? So, you know, like the way I see it is that, you know, the personal development training is actually ranking above all of the other skills as well. You know, before we want to learn about, you know, numbers and how to get customers, chase the, you know, whatever, you know, number gauges and all that, right? You know, we have to look at ourselves as, you know, human beings first and look at our own qualities. Okay, so that brings me to the next page. Why is it that when I want to press the button, it doesn't work? Okay, so you guys can see this, right? So this is something that I learned from my own personal development training. I don't want to mention the name because you guys have heard this from a few of us many times. I actually really like the structure. It's called the 4 Pillars of Success Foundation. I kind of rephrased it. And I always do like an inventory. I always take inventory of, you know, the 4 areas. You can call them not really 4 areas, but 4 pillars in my life every week, actually. So you can see them as the 4 foundations, very strong foundations to foundation pillars to success. You know, you have your integrity, relationships, empowering, and existence. You know, so I know you guys are probably a bit confused by some of the areas here. This is not the absolute, you know, like the golden rule for everybody, but this is what I practice personally. So, you know, like if you like, you can actually take on this as a, you know, reference and something that you can actually implement in your life as well. So integrity, basically, you know, it's about the state of being, you know, your attitude, your mindset, and also it's to do with, you know, whether if you honor your word, you respect yourself, respect others, and, you know, are you going to do the things that you said you're going to do, right? Are you committed? It's, in essence, you know, in my understanding, it's actually all about your attitude, and also it's about who you are, you know, as a person. You know, are you your word? So, which is why sometimes you guys hear this from me, you know, quite often. You know, okay, I gotta honor my word, and I gotta do this. You know, I gotta improve on my, maybe my respect for other people's time, for example, right? And that's something that I'm working on, which comes from integrity. You know, like a lot of times I run late for appointments or for certain things, you know, and that actually comes from integrity. You know, when your integrity is actually out of the window, or I shouldn't say it's out of the window, it's like shaky, and that's actually when you actually start to not say respect other people's time or your own time, or you think it's, for example, this is just an example, right? Or you think it's okay to be late for a little bit, or, you know, it's all right, you know, it's just a small area, but it actually kind of reflects who you are as a person, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, it just means that my integrity is not all there. I don't even respect, you know, someone's 1 minute or 5 minutes of time, because, for example, by being late, it actually makes everything late after that as well, right? So it's not just about yourself, but it's about other people's time as well. So it's just an example in my area. So right now I'm actually working on, you know, certain areas in the integrity column as well. Your state of being. Are you being a wholesome person, you know? And are you being respectful? And in relationships, this one's actually quite straightforward. How's your relationship with other people? You know, not just with your loved ones, but also with everyone else around you. Because by maintaining a good relationship, not good, wholesome relationship, healthy, wholesome relationship, and also having a really good communication, you know, connection with, you know, other beings around you, it actually, in a way, naturally builds a really good sort of network of human resources for us as well, right? And I'm sure a lot of you guys know a lot of successful people, successful business people, or people in the world. They actually make really good, powerful connections with other successful people as well, and maintaining a really good relationship. And sometimes people are actually the coaches to our games as well. So by saying that, I'm actually really cautious with the word resources in this column for this pillar, because I don't want everyone to interpret that as, oh, we're using people to benefit us, right? Because very often when we said, oh, you know, relationships are resources, you know, how many people you know is actually essentially your human resources, right? It often has that connotation of, you know, oh, I do need to kind of like use my network. I do need to sort of like, you know, take that, you know, for granted or take advantage of that. You know, I actually don't want people to get that sense of, you know, we're using people, hence we're building a relationship. It doesn't work like that. You know, it should actually come from the fact that we're building genuine relationships, and then with people, and then that leads to, you know, naturally leads to, you know, I don't know, possibilities, resources, or whatever. But okay, so I'll just keep on going with it. Oh, you guys can't see me? Okay, cool. All right, so that was the second pillar. And the third pillar is empowering. Empowering meaning like how do you inspire others? How do you contribute to others' lives and, you know, other people's, you know, I should say, yeah, lives basically. And also how you touch on other people's lives as well. And, you know, by being in the Herbalife, you know, healthy business, you know, it's really empowering because we are really helping other people and touching on other people's lives. So it's actually about, you know, your contribution to others as well. And it's a really good one to sort of like, you know, take note of and then to check, you know, am I doing everything selfishly and am I benefiting others as well at the same time? Well, I know I have this handful of good knowledge. I know all these things, you know, am I sharing them with other people? Am I inspiring other people, enrolling them? Okay, and then the last pillar is existence. So what's existence? You know, when we have an idea, when we have a plan, we really have to, it's a good game, right? But we have to bring that game into existence, meaning that, you know, we, for example, you know, we make a visual display of how we're going to play out, you know, say a certain game or a certain plan, how we're going to carry out the plan. We create a structure for ourselves. And, or for example, we create a tracking system for ourselves, right? So that is when we actually, you know, we're checking with ourselves, right? You know, are we actually taking actions, right? And the actions, are they based on, you know, something that's tangible, basically? A very quick example could be, you know, say if you want to, for example, someone who wants to buy a very expensive car, you know, I want to buy a hybrid car, Tesla. Okay, all right, I'm just saying that. But if I put it out there to you guys, you know, like, hey guys, by the end of next year, I want to own a Tesla car, for example. That's not a real example, by the way, but I'm just saying, right? I want to own a Tesla by the end of next year. I tell you guys that, okay? And then if I just go home and keep dreaming about it and sleep, it will never happen, right? Because I haven't brought it into existence yet. But if I actually laid out a whole plan, okay, how am I going to come up with the money? Okay, firstly, I need money to buy Tesla, right? So how am I going to come up with the money? And then so I laid out a whole structure to myself. Okay, so every week now, how much do I need? Every week from now, I'm going to make this much. I have that breakdown. Okay, so by next year, I don't know, a year, 14, 15 months later, I'm gonna be able to afford a Tesla and make it really happen. So I have a gauging, a tracking system to make it happen. That is when we actually bring something into existence, right? So it's actually, again, about taking actions. But taking actions, you know, based on a really good sort of like, you know, tracking system will be a good idea. All right, so you guys are all like pretty clear on the 4 pillars, right, that I mentioned here. I'm actually hoping that, you know, if you guys see the value in my sharing of the 4 pillars of successful foundation, then you could actually try to see if you could actually start to apply some of these into your life. And also currently, you can actually look at them and think, currently, which pillars am I quite weak at? Which one's a bit shaky? And then I need to kind of, you know, restore them. And feel free to, you know, this is the time that we can get into details. Feel free to, you know, voice up and ask questions and let everybody know that, you know, oh, maybe I need to improve on this one. This pillar is very weak. You know, I need to bring certain things into restoration, for example. I mean, before you guys go, I can quickly tell you which 2 pillars I need to really work on. Firstly, my integrity, and then secondly is existence. So these 2 things I am working on, like hard. So yeah, and also by having them like we don't have to think about how it's associated with the business just yet. Just think about how we are as, you know, a human. How can we, you know, basically make all these 4 pillars very solid and strong and sound. Yeah, and then naturally the business part will come in. All right, I want to hear from you guys.
I reckon I need to work a lot on existence and a little bit more on empowering. Yeah.
Existence and empowering. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And okay, so that's what you probably call label as like weaknesses, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually, well, you can actually think about how the business, right? So now this is when we actually link it back to the business, right? How being in a Herbalife business can actually help you sharpen or help you actually restore these 2 pillars, right? This is something that I always think about back and forth, which brings me to the next slide, right? So we can think about what we're already good at and what are our good qualities, golden qualities that we can actually bring into the business, how we can use them to benefit, you know, our performance in the business, right? And help everyone else, each other in the business. And then in return, how can the Herbalife business, or by being the business, can help you, you know, basically work on your weakness, improve, you know, what you're not good at, and restore some of the weak pillars. So this is my own thing, you know, that I created myself, thinking, okay, we're gonna bring something to business. How can the business also benefit ourselves as well, right? So so back to here, yeah. All right, anyone else? You can actually talk about, okay, how can the business actually help you, say, oh, restore your integrity, for example, and yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think
Oh, okay.
Can you go first?
okay. Ladies first, right?
Genuinely your
I think for relationships, for me, it's both ways. Like what you just said, Jane. So I need to build on my relationships to say I want to work on my warm market. So I need to like find a good balanced way to, you know, talk to people, or like understand their needs, and or maybe like what some of their concerns are, in order to, you know, like still maintain a good relationship and not feel like, oh, I'm like trying to like recruit them or sell them, but that I really care about them. And but also like at the same time, from the other direction, like doing this business, you know, I am very active in social media these days. I post a lot of stuff, and actually a lot of people that I haven't talked to in a long time, like the least expected people, they come and talk to me, they approach me, and like they not necessarily, you know, become a prospect or a client, but yeah, they like we reconnect because of what I'm doing. So in a way, that's kind of like expanding my network and strengthening it. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
For sure, for sure. That's a really good point, Sam.
Yeah.
Like that's actually something I can totally relate to. By being in the Herbalife business, it actually improves my interpersonal relationship skills, and also it brings me more friends as well. Actually, like genuine friends as well. And that's something I wasn't aware of until maybe after a couple of years. I was like, well, actually, before a lot of people were saying that, oh, you know, if you want to get into network marketing, you got to be prepared that you're going to start losing friends, right? I mean, this is probably what happened to a lot of people in the past. But then, you know, when I, you know, took inventory of my business and my life, I was thinking it's actually quite the opposite. I actually gained a lot of friends, and I haven't lost any friends from the past. So, you know, so I'm actually very thankful that, you know, I took on the right path. I guess I started on a really good foundation with Irina and Chris. You know, thanks to Irina and Chris, who you know, I should actually mention the names at the end, right? You know, who actually they were actually spending a lot of time teaching me how to be a better human. Like, I'm being very honest with you guys, and also probably given the fact that they're both Buddhists, right? they spend a lot of time teaching me how to be a human being, than how to be a good business person. So that now looking back in retrospective, I really have to, give them the credit for that. And so that's a really good one, the relationship, how the business can actually help all of us better our relationships. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Sam. And Max, yeah, you were gonna share something.
Yeah, well, I think I'm in the 4 in existence. Yeah, because I'm trying to build some kind of structure in whatever is going on.
So that's what you want to work on, bring things
Yeah.
into existence. Right. Okay, cool. We can definitely support each other with that. Like we're here to support each other, and the business, can definitely help you build things into existence as well. Yeah, we can actually talk about the plans and details, after the video as well. And let me see, Wei, you shared, or Shafin, sorry, Shafin.
I guess in the business side of things, like work side, it's 2 and 4, so I need to break out of my shell and look for like more collaborations and resources, not be like shy to like talk to other people.
So relationship.
And then existence, obviously, again, that all comes down to the shyness, like showing my face and like and then like doing more social media posts, not being scared to do videos of myself. I can join other people, they're doing their videos, but I can't do my own Facebook lives. I get all shy. So, just stuff like that.
This is probably another area that you're working on, right? Like why you're a performer and you're an actress, why you have that sort of something that's blocking you as well. So, but it's okay. It's great that, each one of us is acknowledging the, the pillars which are shaky at the moment, and, finding ways to restore them, right? It's actually very easy to restore them. It's easy, but it requires daily practice. This is actually basically the principles of success is actually easy, but also very hard. The easiest things are always the hardest things to do. It's just daily practice of, okay, creating something bit by bit, okay, bringing something into existence. For example, how do we create the system? Okay, maybe very often we overcomplicate things. And we like, okay, I need to have this, I need to have that. For example, right? I'm not talking about any one or anything in particular. This and that, how can we do that? But at the end of the day, if we overcomplicate something, if we want everything together, it's really hard to make it happen, right? Let's think of it as like building a snowball. Okay, how about this? Okay, a tracking system, I'll probably start with a hand sketch. Maybe just a notebook or write something down. Okay, I was writing, how many shakes I've sold and who did I sell it to. Like for me personally, I just found it very good to carry a notebook and write things down. Okay, how much did I make today? Right? Rather than just waiting for that perfect software, that can keep track of my CRM, everything together, because that will never happen, right? There will never be the perfect system. For example, this is just an example, okay? And then like more next week, you'd be like, okay, I can add on something. Maybe next month, I can start to creating my own Excel sheet, for example, from manual to Excel. So I'm adding a few more things. I start to do things, start rolling bit by bit. So that's what I mean by, just an example, doing something consistently every day. So you actually really start to take actions to bring something into existence. And, integrity every day, remind yourself, find strategies to make yourself be on time. And don't over punish yourself as well, but also, well, like a good reminder for me is, if my own integrity is not there, I can't expect myself to have a good, for example, a good team, a good family, a good business, right? Because I myself is not all there, right? How do I expect my team or my family or my friends to have the same standard of integrity? I can't. I have to be that one with wholesome not wholesome personality, but wholesome attitude first. So that's all. Yeah. Anyone else want to share just on this? No? Okay.
Just
Okay.
like very quickly, like on the structure. Actually today I only just started to build a spreadsheet to like kind of my own accounts, like a balance sheet of what kind of revenue I'm getting and also the costs that I'm putting in. And I spent like 2 hours like inputting everything like over the past 2 months. And yeah, I think that's I should have started that much earlier, because so from now on I'm gonna like whenever I like do a sale or hold a class or purchase something, I'm gonna like input it into my spreadsheet immediately, and then that would really help me track yeah how much I'm making and how much I'm spending. Yeah.
That's really good, actually. Yeah, like it would be great for like all of us to learn from that as well. And I'm sure like a lot of you guys, all of you guys have your own way to manage and to keep track of your own business performance as well, right? And it's something that we can all actually really support and share with each other. Yeah, because that's something I need to learn as well, how to create a good system to keep track. At the moment, I'm just using the system Chris has, the computer system, to keep track of my sales. And I'll get Chris to run I'll run a training for you guys another time for that. So that's something we can all actually take advantage of, actually. So that's actually really amazing. You spend 2 hours to data entry everything for
Yes, because I had to go through everything that I bought and everything that I sold and stuff over
good.
the past month or so. So yeah, in the future it's going to be much easier when I do it immediately every time. So yeah.
For sure. That's good. Yeah, because I do urge everybody to do that. You want to be clear with your numbers. You want to be clear with how much you make and how much you spend on the products, right? So you can see clearly, if you're making money or not. And that's actually very important. I guess that could be another topic, money management for another day. And okay, that's really cool. And then you guys have seen this, from what I mentioned earlier, how we can actually apply this, and those strategies teach us how to improve on our weaknesses. So just very quickly, I want to hear your strengths. Just now, you guys pick on like your weaknesses. Can each one of you guys give me like a couple of your strengths? You don't have to give me all your strengths. I know you guys are very awesome at all of things, but give me your like top 2 to top 3. Just very quickly, and just figure it out. Okay, you guys don't have to be polite. Just yell out your strengths.
Integrity, I guess. Integrity.
Mm-hmm.
I do get very worked up when I make it a point that if I see something to do it, if not, it's very irritating not to be able to accomplish it.
So integrity is your number 1, right?
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Cool. All right. And anything else after integrity? Or that's actually really amazing. That's really powerful already. You don't need to tell me anything else. Integrity is everything already. I feel. Cool. All right. And then others, you guys can just call out, your strengths, your top 3. Okay. You have quota of 3. You can say 3.
I think I'm very disciplined. So yeah, like I did the 4-week challenge, right? So right after I did that, like I'm still kind of adhering to what I've learned from it. Like I've seen so many people like do multiple 10-day challenges, and then their weight and their health stats just like yo-yo all around. But like for me, I kind of stick to it, and yeah, I think that really helps me, and it also allows me to be a good kind of role model to my clients.
Yeah.
So yeah, but actually that sometimes also becomes my I don't know, like a weakness, because I'm like that, and I know that I can't expect. Actually, I can expect that most people aren't like that. So, so I can't really use my standard to like imagine how people would react to programs and new routines. So yeah, that's kind of interesting, actually.
That's well, actually, that's your, like you said, you're very focused and disciplined, right? So that comes from integrity in a way, right? And then I can hear that at the same time that relates to the empowering column, the pillar, the empowering pillar, whereby you can use that good quality of yours to inspire others, right? It doesn't mean that you have to put your high standard onto others, but if you can actually enroll others and influence others to also try to, oh my god, I want to work up to Sam's standard, then you're actually already doing the job of inspiring others, right? So you don't have to see it as a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when you're so obsessed with your own standard and you cannot bear to see other people like not meeting it, right? So you're kind of like, how should I say it? You're too attached to maybe the results, or you're too attached to the fact that everybody should play by my rules, that kind of thing. And that would probably make you a Nazi, actually. So yeah, there's a difference, right? So everybody has different standards in that, but our job is there to inspire others to get to the higher standard possible, right? And everyone's journey is different as well. Yeah. All right. So okay, I want to hear more strengths from you guys. Yes. Thank you, Sam. Yes. Come on, it's not that hard. Don't wait. Just call out your strengths. You're proud of them. Sorry, Shipping, were you saying something? Or Max, say something?
Max's core strength, I think.
Yeah, I said I think I'm like where my strength is in integrity.
Integrity, okay.
Yeah. So like I even can't explain it.
Maybe you are quite similar to Wei. You two, like, military boys. I'm not wrong, right? It's got to do with the military, that actually shape you guys to be like, yes, ethics, values, standards, principles, disciplines. Yeah, so that's actually really, really good. Like there's no sort of like ranking of which one's more important than which one. They're all equally important. But integrity is really something, like, for my observation, is something that a lot of people are lacking, actually.
Yeah.
Very, very weak at. They're good at other things. So even something that I'm lacking, I'm being very honest with you guys, I'm lacking a lot of integrity. Like I'm really better in certain areas of integrity now than before. But I'm still working on a lot of them. And I do really look up to people like you guys, you boys, so you men, you guys who are very high in terms of your own integrity column, how solid it is. So yeah, there's a lot to learn from you guys. Yeah, I'm looking forward to learning. Yes. Cool. Thanks, Max. And Shafin?
Mine, number 3, empowering, is definitely my biggest strength, I feel. And integrity is something I hold strongly to myself. I guess attitude would probably be the best one. Attitude would be.
Cool.
Yeah. And honoring my word, like in terms of, like in the personal life, definitely I do. In terms of my business side, or to myself, honoring my word to myself is where I lack. So yeah, and parts of honoring word is a strength, and other sides it's. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I think when we look at all these areas, right? I mean, all these pillars, they're actually pretty universal. As in, they are in every corner of our lives. Not just like, some people could be like, oh, I'm very selective. Oh, I'm very, very, I have very strong integrity in my business. Just an example, not to you personally, in my business. But when it comes to personal life and everything, there's no integrity in that. Then, it doesn't work like that. It's actually very universal. You know, the way you do anything is the way you do everything, basically. So, you know, if someone's very selective, say, oh, they're very perfect at work, oh, they this and that, all the 4 pillars are perfect at work, but then when they go home, you know, in real life, they're like, what? A completely different person. Then, you know, again, it doesn't work like that. It just acts. Yeah. So okay, that's cool. Thanks for sharing, Shafin. Yeah, it's actually really amazing hearing from all of you guys what are your strengths. I'm very excited about your strengths. You know, like also equally excited about your weaknesses because you know how the business can benefit you to, you know, improve on your weaknesses, but also at the same time, you know, it makes you think, okay, so these are my strengths here. You know, my integrity is really great. You know, I'm very disciplined and focused, and you know, I'm really good at empowering others. You know, how can I bring that into the business? You know, how can I, you know, apply all of those into my business and use them to sort of like boost the business as well, right? So here's something that, you know, I would like to invite you guys to think about and maybe do it as a homework as well. And hope this could actually help you guys come up with, you know, a more enhanced business plan and actions as well. So here are 4 names I want to share with you guys. These are the 4 business and life coaches that I really look up to. Obviously, Jim Rohn, he's no longer with us. And actually, by mentioning Jim Rohn, I cannot mention him without mentioning the founder of Herbalife, Mark Hughes, because he actually coached very closely Mark Hughes throughout his whole Herbalife career as well. And you guys have heard, you know, a few quotes from Jim Rohn as well. So I actually subscribe to all these guys on their YouTube channel and also on their social media as well. And I've learned a lot from the 4 of them. That's why I want to mention these 4 guys to you. Another reason why I highly recommend you guys to check out these 4 people is because not only that they're very successful, you know, business people, you know, in real life, but they're also very good life coaches at the same time. They focus a lot on life coaching, personal development aspect in the business. And very often some of these guys talk probably more, like the ratio of talking about personal development is a lot more than like business techniques, business, you know, like skills and things like that. So I highly recommend you guys to check out these guys. Bob Heilig actually offers a lot of free webinars here and there. So here and there, you guys will see me sending out some webinar, like really random webinar links to you guys, right? You know, don't get shocked because I follow these guys like every day. I am very sort of like a loyal fan of these guys, especially Bob Heilig. He's a really good one. I highly recommend you guys to check him out like immediately. And Shalene Johnson is also another really good one that I actually follow all the time. I listen to her podcast when I'm commuting. And Gary Vaynerchuk, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of his name. He's a huge, you know, social media guru, like influencer, and he's just beware of his F-bombs. You know, he swears a lot. He's very like
he's actually telling the truth.
Exactly. That's right. He's very straightforward, like very in your face, F-bombs, but he's telling you.
Check this out.
Oh, you got his book. This is the latest one, right?
I'm not sure. I think yes.
Which one is it? What's the title?
Oh, I want to get stuff already.
It's the Ask Gary V.
Oh yeah, it's the latest one. That's the latest one. It's a compilation of his Ask Gary V. What do you call the blogs and the interviews?
Yeah, the blogs.
Yeah, he's amazing. I have his Jab Right Cross book. So if somebody
give me this one because I wanted to buy this.
You want to buy that, but they gave you this one.
No, I wanted to buy this, but I want to read the one you have.
Oh, okay. I can lend it to you. Yeah, it's a really
cool.
good read. I highly recommend all of you guys to get your hands on Jab Right Cross as your personal collection. You know, as part of your business toolbook.
Yeah, well, I'm currently reading Tim Ferriss.
Oh, all right. He's also very good. Yeah. So
let's do book sharing, like
yeah.
So like
God, I haven't read it.
Yeah, I have some really good books to share with you guys, and then I have this many books I need to return to Chris. Chris lent me this more than that actually, like this much, this many books at the beginning of the business, and I have to say I really benefit a lot from reading his they're actually spanning from personal development to like network marketing books actually, and yeah, they're very helpful actually. So I'll return them and then distribute amongst you guys when we do the book sharing. So this is really cool. But you guys can get online and check out these guys' YouTube channels and websites if they haven't encountered them before. And before we end the night, just another quote to share with you guys. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Yeah, this is like, wow, okay, the golden nugget for tonight, right? Yes, it's true. However successful we want to become is actually depending on how good of a person we become, basically. So remember, human life before Herbalife. That sums up tonight. Okay, so before I end, 10 more minutes. Okay, great. So before I end tonight's webinar, and of course I'll leave the last few minutes for you guys as well. I want to do a bit of a event promotion. Yeah, so a lot of you guys have heard from us about the Samantha Clayton event coming up. She's coming to Hong Kong. I know, right? Isn't that awesome? Yeah, on the 20th of April. That's a Friday evening. So the event, actually, the training starts at 7. So it's okay if you can't get there, at 6. 6 is when the registration starts. And there will be a workout session in this special trainer, in this training. Sorry, were you going to ask me something, Shafin?
No, I said yay.
Yeah. So come in your workout gear. Yeah, sorry, Wei. We'll report it to you guys. It's going to be exciting. And she trained Ronaldo, and also she was the Olympian as well. So very high, caliber, basically. And I don't know how they brought her to Hong Kong. It's really amazing.
Yeah. Do you think I'm gonna be able to get in if I'm late?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, they're not gonna stop you.
Okay.
Yeah,
just gonna barge through the door. Yeah.
Oh, they will let you in for sure. Yeah. And also this event is actually, you guys can see, right? I wrote down, this event is actually suitable for a lot of people, not just for, members, but also like distributors or business builders like us, but also it's really good for new members and also people who are curious actually about Herbalife, or like, oh, what's this Herbalife Fit Club and healthy active lifestyle thing you guys do. It's actually a good way to expose a lot of people to different aspects of the business, because a lot of people probably have only seen a very limited, aspect of the business from us, and also from maybe, I don't know, YouTube or internet or whatever hearsays they have, right? So when we bring, our guests to the event, they can actually see, oh, wow, okay, this is what the lifestyle is like. This is what the training, this is, you get to see other Herbalifers from Hong Kong, local, Herbalife. Basically just expand your horizon a little bit. So it will be in English, thank God. This one's in English, and they will do Cantonese translation. Yeah, so let's all go. I have bought my ticket already. I know Sam's bought her ticket. Samantha is going to meet another Samantha. And Mike also bought his ticket. So he's very interested to go. He will get a translation. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to, you guys coming with guests. Let's think about who we can bring as well. And
just tell Saj about it on Sunday.
Sorry?
Tell Saj about it on Sunday.
Yeah, sure, yeah. So we could wait for them to get exposed, right? Okay, so this is what's coming up. And then the next thing I want to promote is Extravaganza, North Asia. You're like, what? Again, this is a different one, right? So I believe I have mentioned about this to some of you guys. So basically the Asia Extravaganza is split into 2. Meaning you have the North Asia, that includes Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, and Korea, right? So all these nations in one room, in one stadium, basically, receiving the amazing trainings and talks. And there will be amazing speakers, like, the CEO of the company, some doctors, and quite a few scientists, and also different successful top achievers from different countries, sharing about their business experiences and how they get to the certain business performances. And there will be huge personal development training as well. So from years of attending, this is what I can summarize to you guys. And it's going to take place in Bangkok, this one. So if we all go as a team, it will be a really fun team trip together. It's going to happen in June 8th to the 10th. So over the weekend, 3 days, 8, 9, 10, 3 days, basically. So last year, Wei and I went to Bangkok for the extravaganza, remember? So it's going to happen in the same stadium, in the Impact Arena. Yeah. So so you guys can actually check it out. And I'm just going to show you guys, a quick video of what to expect But I'll probably, show you guys just a little bit of it. I won't play the whole thing. It's only 2 minutes, but I know it's the video you guys can view in your own time. Yeah, there will be breaks and exercise sessions, shake bars, performances.
Well, according to the music, everybody using powder over there.
All right, so, wait. So I'm going to stop that. Sorry, press the wrong button. Yeah. So I'll share the video with you guys so you guys can finish watching it, because I want to leave the last few minutes to you guys. And the video just gives you like a vibe, like, oh, okay, for now, and to pump you guys up. I'll share some of my my photos and videos from the past few years. And last year's Way was there with you guys. You can see, what the real thing looks like from our perspective. Max,
How much is it?
This one, I need to check. It's usually it's roughly about Hong Kong dollar 1,000 something for the 3-day event. So that's for the ticket, for the event ticket. Roughly about Hong Kong dollar 1,200 or 1,000, around $1,000. Yes. So, and what usually happens is, when a team travels together, right? We book the flights and book the hotels together, ideally, right? And we stay together, not in the one room, but of course, say for example, the boys can share the room and the girls can probably share a suite or something like that, right? And like of course within the right budget, and we pick the hotel that's actually very convenient, either nearby the arena or Airbnb in the city or something like that. So usually we schedule like 5-6 days, so a few days will be good for us to recap and relax, have spa, relax, really have fun, enjoy the trip, because we're going to be in Bangkok, right? And then of course a few, the 3 days or 2.5 days will be like, really good quality, fun learning, when we take notes, listen to translations and things like that. So yeah, that answer your question? Did that answer your question, Sam? I think I added in the extra promotion. Yeah. And Max, you were asking something?
No. No. Joke.
Sorry?
It was a joke for the video. I said everybody using powder over there.
Using powder.
Using powder. Okay. Yeah, it's true. Some people, it's a funny way to say it. Oh, everyone's like, using powder there. I remember, like, I heard from someone saying that, oh my God, when I come to this international event in a room of like 10,000 people, I realized everybody's drinking the same shake as me. I thought that was the only one.
He was talking about the music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's actually, it's a fun. Sorry?
No, so they are actually all using powder, but not in the same.
It's like a rave party.
Rave party. Yeah, rave party. Well, actually, you do get to party, because every morning before the training starts, there's a DJ on the stage, and the DJ's job is to pump up everybody. And then you will see people with the country flag, like getting high and dancing. It's quite a scene, right, Wei? You were there last year.
There's always a morning event, about a dance event kind of thing. And it's a bit of, it's kind of funky music going on in the morning.
Not funky music, clubbing music. Funky music.
Clubbing music.
Yeah, exactly. To wake you up, right? And then so you're like pumped and you're warmed up to receive knowledge, rather than coming in the arena feeling very sleepy still, or not ready to learn. So yeah. So I can share more about, you know, the whole extravaganza experience, and you know, I'll let you guys have a think about it as well. You know, see if some of you guys will be interested to go, because I know it's in early June. Because if we were to go, I'm actually happy to join you guys and delay my trip a little bit to Canada, because I know I'm going supposed to go at the end of May. And today my fiance was asking me, when are you going to book your ticket? And I said, oh, I'll let you know soon, because I do want to confirm, you know, with you guys if, you know, you guys want to go to this trip or not, right? And then I can decide when I can book my tickets. Yeah, like it will be really worth it. So yeah, so we're almost there.